Jaden Urban joins us now here in the studio. Jaden, lots to cover here. What were some of the bills that really stuck out to you?
Yeah, definitely lots. 191 bills will be becoming law on July 1st. So some will include trying to narrow presidential preference primary candidates, harsher punishments for recruiting high school athletes, and for allowing for more religious expression.
After the 2025 Nevada legislative session, more than 500 bills will become law, with just under 200 being written in statute on July 1st. Let's look into some of them. Starting with elections, presidential preference primary candidates will now have to pay $1,000 to file. Another would require that rooms in certain public buildings be provided for certain political parties at no charge. One new law would allow trainees or board officers to work as volunteers and not receive pay. Moving into high school sports, one new law has passed that impacts the Nevada Interscholastic Activities Association, or the NIAA. It says the NIAA cannot penalize against a school or person for advocating for change in policies. A big portion of the law centers around recruitment. It says schools cannot recruit, and it says that students cannot transfer as a result of the recruitment. If someone believes this violation has happened, they can file a complaint. The first violation means schools must be placed on probation, and the coach and or member of the staff must be suspended for the rest of the current season and the entirety of next season. The second violation would mean they must be suspended for not less than one school year, and the third would mean that the person would be dismissed from their position and suspended for not less than 2 calendar years. Another new law centers around religious expression. On Tuesday, landlords and HOAs will no longer be able to not allow tenants to display religious items. That is, unless it's bigger than the door, or the total size is greater than 3 by 1 feet, or it promotes discrimination. One new law will focus on gun safety. If someone is having a mental health crisis and is placed on a 72-hour hold, officers can immediately take the person's guns away. The officer then provides a receipt and procedure of how the person can get the gun back. This is unless the person is on an order for protection against high-risk behavior, or the person is not allowed to own a gun.
Now, this is just a select handful of bills that are turning into laws, so there are still about 180 that we haven't talked about in our newscast. So if you would like to read more into those, we'll have that on our news link section on our 2 News website. Covering the story, Jaden Urban, 2 News Nevada.